Simon & Schuster Audio presents Zbig, The Life of Zbigniew Brzezinski, America's Great Power Prophet, by Edward Luce. Read by Michael David Axtell. For Neve. Prologue. Hitler was dead. As news spread of the dictator's suicide, people on both sides of the Atlantic converged on downtowns and city squares to celebrate the end of the most pitiless war in history. Montreal, the capital of Quebec, Canada's francophone province, was no exception. Among those who abandoned their classrooms to join the throngs outside was 17-year-old Zbigniew Brzezinski, the second of four sons of the Polish consul general in Montreal. "Germany has capitulated," he wrote in his diary on May 8, 1945. "I heard the electrifying news this morning when I was at school. The city is full of flags, flowers, people, and joy. Only us, the Poles, are not partaking in this satisfaction from victory." Amid the blur of Union Jacks, Canadian Red Ensigns, and Stars and Stripes, Brzezinski spotted the occasional hammer and sickle. Sight of the dreaded Soviet flag dampened the joy of the soon-to-be stateless young Pole. "We walked down the streets cheering," he recalled towards the end of his life. "But I remember at the same time feeling there was something wrong, because I was aware that half of Europe was in the hands of another menacing dictatorship just as brutal as Hitlerism." Canadians could be forgiven for welcoming the Soviet red flag. In the titanic battle with Nazism, the Soviet Union had lost many times more soldiers and civilians than the United States and the British Empire combined. So critical had Joseph Stalin, the Soviet dictator, been to the battle against Nazism that many Westerners, seemingly oblivious to his record, knew him by the moniker Uncle Joe. 10 months later, in Fulton, Missouri, Winston Churchill, Great Britain's wartime leader, would jolt people to attention with his warning of an Iron Curtain descending across Europe. On that euphoric day in May, however, it took a Pole to express victory's bitter taste. The previous year, an anguished Brzezinski had recorded the suppression of the 1944 Warsaw Uprising, in which the German army had razed the Polish city to the ground, leaving it the most ruined capital in Europe. The Red Army had sat passively for months on the left bank of the Vistula River, watching the Germans methodically level the city of Brzezinski's birth. The U.S. President, Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?